We're live. Sup everyone, this is Gameplayer episode 29 and we're gonna have a great show. But before we start, let me introduce our panel. Ghost, how are you, dude? What you been playing?
He messaged the group. He said he's going through customs at the moment.
Yeah, thank you. Then go ahead, Morgan, what you been playing?
Me?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
okay, hey
I'm
everybody.
pretty sure there's only one Morgan here. I think.
Sorry, I didn't hear my name. It cut off when you said who we were talking
Yeah, we heard N.
to. But hey everybody, it's Morgan, aka Chill Bandit. Currently I'm playing a few games. The Lego Star Wars game. Uh, have to finish up Ghostwire Tokyo, and now I'm playing Returnal as well. So I got like 3 games I'm going back and forth with. All of them great, having a blast. So
How was
that's what.
Ghostwire?
Hmm.
How
So
was?
far, it's so good. I haven't finished it yet. I think I have like 2 more
Oh,
chapters.
gotcha. And we, how are you? What you been playing?
Yeah, Sep. It's the Weep Sheriff, aka Blue Rhizome. Yeah, I've been playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And that's pretty much the only thing I've been playing lately.
How is that?
It's actually really fun.
Huh?
I I mean, there are sort of a dime in a dozen Kirby games, but this one is pretty fun. It has sort of the sort of Mario Odyssey vibes in a sense. It's not that as good as Mario Odyssey, but it comes pretty close. And once you get the car form, and then the song plays, man, you're like,
Okay.
no, this is something special. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've heard
I've
good things
finished
about
Yeah, finished the main story. Did the extra bonus world, and now I'm just trying to do boss rush mode and getting all the figurines that you can collect.
it. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So yeah, if you don't have a Switch, this is probably a reason to get one, or just emulate on PC. I don't know.
Gotcha. Hey, you made it. How are you? What you been playing?
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I went home for a week and just got back, and I was playing a lot of Tiny Tina with my daughter. She loves it.
Nice. Did you finish Forbidden West?
I had not because I've been playing because I have like I think like 1 or 2 more trophies left until I like platinum it. But when I went home, like I took a break from it because I was playing Tiny Tina with my daughter. So, but now that I'm back on the road, I'm gonna finish that up.
Gotcha. As for me, I'm still playing Valkyrie Profile. No, Valkyrie Chronicle. I always mix up the two. Um, Good game. I'm back where I used to be before I quit last time because of other game. And I started Orange Spears just to see how it is. Combat feels nice. Music, oh my god, the music. And the story is very interesting. I'm literally at the beginning, so I have no idea what's happening. But I really love how fluid the combat is, the amount of combos you can do, how you can juggle and stuff. If you're on PlayStation 4, there's a demo for it. You can give it a go. Because PlayStation 5 sadly doesn't recognize the demo for PlayStation 4 version. And that's about it. Um, the first topic is going to be okay. So slowclap, which is the studio behind Sifu. Let me see what they make made other than Sifu. Slowclap. I really wish Akira was here.
Didn't they make like Absolver or something?
Oh, Slowclap. Oh yeah, they made Absolver. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So they caved in and they put an easy mode, and so they played it smart. They did an easy mode and a difficulty harder mode that changes the boss pattern. I'm not sure if it also changes the enemy pattern or not, but it definitely gives the boss a new move and stuff like that. And trust me, the bosses in what's called a Sifu are not easy at all. Like I had a more not per se fun, but more like enjoyment out of playing in I playing Returnal than playing Sifu. For me, because it almost feels like Returnal, you're in control, while Sifu, you really need to be fast. Anyone here played Sifu?
No.
Me?
So only I can speak about
No,
Sifu.
I played it.
You played it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish it?
No, I only got to the second boss.
How far were you?
The second biome, the third, or the one after the club.
That's the club is the second.
And
Oh,
the
you are
museum.
you are at the third. Then that is
The museum or whatever.
the museum. I think
Mm,
you're with me. I'm at the
yeah.
museum as well. So how was the game for you?
It was good. Like I enjoyed it. I have to get back to it. Like right when I was playing, of course, other games came out.
Yeah,
So
when this game came out, there was also Forbidden West came literally
yep.
a month, a
So you had
day
to
or
like
three
rush.
out of after it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's gonna take precedent, and
So
I
I have
knew I'm not gonna
to.
be able to finish what's called Sifu that early. So
Yeah, I have to get back to it. But I enjoyed it. It was
yeah, I
good.
enjoyed it as well. It just yeah. What's your thought on the monk? Cause these dudes were difficult to break their defense.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Kana a little bit with like the parry. Like sometimes I felt like I did it correctly and it just didn't click. Like the game just refused to acknowledge that I did it. Um, it's
So it was inconsistent, eh?
yeah, like it was
I
very
feel you.
inconsistent,
I
and I was
feel
just
you.
like it was very annoying. I was like, damn, like because I'm enjoying the game. I just wish my moves would connect. Like I feel like I'm doing them correctly and they're just not registering.
And I feel you. It's like shout out to Jabari and Persona because these dudes and Humor because all of them got the platinum and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
they did
on
good for that
another
because I was just
ball
I can't.
game.
I don't know if I can do
Yeah,
that.
but yeah, no joke. I
uh,
agree 1000% with you when it comes to Sifu. When it comes to the monks
mhm,
are iffy, and it definitely remind me with Kana.
yeah.
How the parry in Kana was iffy as fuck. Before I continue, Ghost, are you here? You're still AFK. Okay. Um, so you here? I thought I had them. Never mind. Um, yeah. So, as someone that loves hard games, because I played and beat Returnal, and I'm pretty sure you did, Morgan, right?
Say it again.
You played Returnal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you beat it?
No, that's
Did
what I'm
you
working on now.
Did you get the secret ending?
No, I haven't beaten it.
Mm. So if they would to make Returnal easier, give you easier mode, how would that make you feel?
Uh, Personally, I don't want that. Um, the suspend cycle feature that was added is perfectly fine.
Wait a second. Not to cut you off, but uh, I wanna get to the nitty gritty.
Hmm.
Explain to me the quote unquote elitism, and trust me, I'm with you
Oh
on
man.
that front. No. I'm calling it what it is. What else is it if it's not elitism? Cause it's
Oh, I mean, I don't care how others play. I just personally don't want that for me. Like, I like the way they set it up. Like, I like, you know, conquering the challenge. So personally, I don't want it. Like, if they want to add it and like maybe give a different trophy set for that mode versus the original, that's cool. I just don't
that
want
that's the key point, though. Give a
it.
different trophy.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it and again everything that I'm gonna say right now it is the same for me as much for you. So I'm
Mhm.
not here just trying to disrespect you.
Oh
Just
no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
for clarity's sake, what is with this elitism and also this um almost like uh
Like
again
gatekeeping.
elitism mentality like you
Yeah.
can get the game, you can get the difficult setting lowered, but I don't want you to get the same trophy as me. It's like it's almost there is a sense of pride, eh? In
Yeah, like yeah, I feel you. It is kind of a
I
lean on
spent I
elitism. Like
spent
it's
I spent 10 hours or 20 hours just mastering this one boss, and you're gonna come in swoop, swoop,
that's what's kind of
and
feel like,
take
man.
it.
No, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this game. Damn it! You ain't about to just come through and beat the boss in like, 2 tries. It took me, like you said, 5 hours something, and then you come in and get the same thing. Like, come on, man. I just feel like my hard work should be rewarded. You know?
Interesting. So then I'm gonna put you on blast, and I'm gonna put myself on blast. Do
Oh
you
damn.
play for someone else other's enjoyment,
Do I
or
play for others' enjoyment?
yeah?
No.
So why should we care what others do? It's like,
Oh,
uh,
like I said, I don't care. They can play easy mode, baby mode,
yeah,
whatever.
but
I
still,
personally
if
don't
they
care.
get the same trophies as us, then you're gonna like, what the fuck?
It's not even about that. It's like a lot of people I've noticed, like with games that will later make an easier mode, they'll boast about it, like they put in that work that the people who did the hard mode did, and I'm just like, you played it on easy mode though. But they
Okay,
don't
okay,
acknowledge that. They don't acknowledge that though. They're like,
yeah,
nah,
no, because the line is blurred. But let's be real. This has been happening with what Ratchet and Clank. You can literally put
hmm
that game on easy mode.
yeah. I just need
So
people like I don't like you can say like, hey, I did this on easy mode and I got the platinum. That's cool. I just need you to acknowledge that. Just say that. Just say, I played it on easy mode. It's fine though.
it's fascinating because I feel the same as you. It's just I don't know what's it a sort of elitism or entitlement
I
almost.
mean, it is a little bit of that. I'm
So
not even gonna front.
where is this mentality then coming from? Is it because when gaming was not cool, was not hype, was not hip, we were the
Right.
gamers and they were not the gamers? Is that it?
Maybe. I can't really explain it. It's just I feel some type of way
Because
when I
I'm
see
gonna be
somebody
honest with
posting.
you, I don't give a fuck what others think about my gaming score or whatsoever. Because I know I play
Right.
games, but at the same time, I push myself through the limit. Like shout out to UK, when I first started playing Horizon Forbidden West, I was having fun and I wanted to push my limits so bad that I didn't use any upgrade for almost what I had for more than
Oh
60
yeah, I remember that.
skill points. And normally I don't ever use that, but I'm like, I'm having such a blast. I didn't want to make the game easier on me. I was playing on normal, so there's also that. And I'm like, okay, let me see how longer can I push it through without using upgrade. And also part of me was I was afraid of choosing the wrong build and not being able to get a certain trophy, because especially for the what's called for the combat, you need to get most of the brawler's skill tree. You will need to invest in that. So at the end, um, I know I'm going on a long tantrum with you, but it's just we are the only people that played Returnal. Weeb, you have Returnal, but you didn't play it, right?
I didn't play it, and I don't have it. So wrong.
Oh,
Oh man.
no. It's I forgot if you had it or not. That's why.
Well,
Because we talked about
I
it,
don't know. I
but
mean, I don't think it's gonna be for me. Maybe I'll
Okay.
try with that because I think it's not for free, but with the new premium subscriptions, if I'm gonna check it out, maybe I'll try it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm not a fan of roguelike games and soul
gotcha.
games. So,
Ghost, are you here? Because you played Returnal. I know about that because I watched you play it.
Yeah,
Hey, you're here. So, you played Sifu also, right? A little bit.
on like the third level of Sifu, but I beat
Okay.
Returnal. Now that was like my game of the year.
Okay, yeah, me too as well. Okay, so are you aware that Sifu got an easy mode now?
No, I did not. Still
So
not going to change anything. I'm still.
that's one of the topics that we're covering. So basically, slowclap, the studio behind Sifu, came out and said that they're releasing one update that's gonna do two things. Well, two important things. The first one is gonna introduce us an aggressive mode that basically gives enemies a different pattern. I'm not sure if it's different, if it's enemies or bosses, but either bosses and enemies gonna have different move sets, which is basically almost gonna feel like a brand new game, cause the game relies on move set. And the
Right.
other thing is basically they caved in. They're giving us easy mode, less aggressive enemies. I'm pretty sure it's gonna give you more health bar and stuff like that. And
And then there's generalist mode.
me and what's her name, Morgan, we were talking about. Imagine if that was happening to Returnal, how would we feel about it? And the elitism in both me and uh, Morgan, I'm like, yeah, it's okay to do so, but it should be separate when it comes to trophies. It shouldn't be trophies that we have gotten because we busted our uh, balls to to understand the game and finish the game. Well, I beat every single boss first try, but that's a different topic. I did struggle with Biome 3. Biome 3 was the biome that fucked me over for a long time. So, as someone that plays hard games like us, how would you feel if Josmo on the other side get to play Returnal with easy mode and get the same difficulty trophy that you had to bust your balls to get?
I mean, I don't. I don't really. I don't mind. I don't care. I mean, uh, maybe it's just because I'm not like a trophy hunter. Like I beat the game, and I enjoyed it. I struggle with Biome 3 myself. I think it's just if that makes it more accessible for not as skilled people or younger people or whatever the case may be, then I don't know. I guess I'm all for it. I don't see a problem with it. And I don't think you should be penalized. Like, you don't get certain trophies. I mean, that you teeter on a really thin line when you start doing that, because then it's like you get into this like elitist, you know what I mean? Kind of, I guess, mind frame where like, oh, well, you had to beat it on easy mode, and the gaming community is already so divisive. Why add one more layer of divisiveness by doing that? So beat it on easy mode, beat it on hard mode, beat it on regular mode. You still beat it. And that's kind of my thought.
Gotcha. So it's just me and Morgan, because we are the, not per se trophy. Are you trophy hunter, Morgan?
I say I've become one. I'm more so one this generation than I've ever been. It really depends on the game and how I feel about it.
Gotcha. Me too. If I love the game, I'm gonna try to plant it. If not, then I'm gonna move on. I feel you. It's just
I'm a trophy hunter too.
Yeah, you. It's fascinating how my mindset and Morgan works versus how what's called ghost mindset work. And shout out to the humor. He put out a tweet that I actually disagree with, and he said the follow: if you got the plot after the after I forgot which date it is. That when when the update drop, then you cheated your way out of a victory or something like that. So basically, he's saying that it shouldn't. Give me a second. I want to read the tweet verbatim, because I respect Stick, but I actually disagreed with him on that tweet. So, if your platinum date for Thipo is after April, you are a bum. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't make it seem like you achieved something, as I will simply laugh at you.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to call people bums for that, though. I wouldn't start name calling
He's
people.
getting a lot of slack for it. It's like,
yeah,
I
that's sick
disagree.
though. He's always been like that.
I disagree with this tweet, but we do kind of agree with his message, though, don't we?
Yeah.
Because as much here's the thing, I disagree with the tweet because you can literally have been waiting for the physical copy, and that just
Yeah, but the
arrived.
physical just
Yeah,
dropped, so
so it's unfair. It should have been, if you playing on easy mode, it should have, it shouldn't you shouldn't get the same trophy as the hard mode. And I understand that would be fair. Cause him, Persona, J Bari, I can't stress it enough. These people played games that are difficult. They played what's called that beat 'em up game, Streets of Rage 4. They mastered that game to perfection. They all three got the what's called platinum, and even Akira. Shout out to Akira. I wanted him on show, but he couldn't make it because of work. He also mastered this game, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna feel the same exact way. It's like we're out of here mastering the game, and you come sweep on, and you basically get what we got, but with less effort. It's fascinating. It genuinely is. But I disagree with Silk with how he tweeted it, because there are so many things that have been different. Like, for example, me, I dropped it because Forbidden West came out, and then after it, I started playing other games. I simply forgot about Sifu. Not that I don't want Sifu or I don't like Sifu. It's just there are other games to play. Sifu is a game that is existing, and I'm gonna play it when I'm gonna play it. Simple. The same as a game like, for example, Returnal. If I didn't beat Returnal back then, I can pick up Returnal whenever I want and I should play it. Or a game like Kena. I got the platinum Kena, but if I didn't, you should be able to pick up a game and play it whenever you want without other people call you a bum or whatsoever. Like, I understand what you're coming from, but not like this. People drop game and then pick it back up later all the time, including the humans themselves. I've read it tweet so many times that he started playing a game only for him to drop it because he was not in the mood for such game, only for it later to pick it up and and get the platinum from it. It's like,
But Omar, don't you think like, 'cause, like everybody's skill level is different, right? And
yeah,
so, don't you want your game to be, I guess, experienced or enjoyed by more? And games like, Returnal, or games like Sifu, or those type of games. I mean, they are inherently hard, and they are frustrating. And so,
I
do you want to frustrate the player, or the individual that, I don't know,
yes,
who's
yes.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, continue because I can give you my rebuttal.
I mean, so you want to frustrate the player to the point where they just give up or don't buy the game or no interest in your game. So, I just think that if you want your game to be more accessible, more enjoyable, I mean, there are someone older like myself whose, I guess, reaction time isn't as quick or as good, or I don't have the time, or whatever your excuse may be. You know, I just feel like if you put it easy mode, doesn't mean that you have to play it in easy mode. You continue to play it in hard mode, or you can continue to play it in perfect example, Destiny 2, when the new expansion came out, there was one mission in particular. Damn it, what was it called? Um, um, it was one mission in particular that was just ridiculously hard, and me and a fire team couldn't get past it. So then, I of course, walked away from it, got sucked into Elden Ring, and then I got back into it before I left to go where I went. And I got back into it, and I couldn't find everyone else that beat it, and so I couldn't find a fire team that wanted to endure that type of that ass kicking. So then I put it on easy mode, beat it by myself, and then continued the rest of the campaign on legendary. So you're saying I shouldn't get the same credit as someone that beat it on that beat it? Is that what you're saying?
The thing is, one second.
Hello?
I was talking. No, 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 no. I was talking to Akira. The thing is, um, with all the respect to you, Golte, um, not every game should be for everyone, and that's okay. That's
And I agree with that.
genuinely okay. Like, you're never gonna see me play uh, Gran Turismo 7. I have I have access to the game. You know that. I can install it and play it whenever I want, but I'm not touching it. Why? Because the game is not for me. If a game is not for you, then you don't need to. Then it's okay to not play it. You don't need to play something to just to be part of the group. You're not doing it, but most of the people do. They play a certain game just to be want to be part of the conversation.
Hmm. It kind of
And
reminds me of people who want like from soft games to have an easy mode. Like, no. Like they're like, it needs to be more accessible to everybody. It needs an easy mode. It needs like no. That's what these games are designed for. They're designed to be difficult. They're designed to be hard. They're designed to be a challenge. And if that's not something that you like or something that you can't, get by, because I'm not a from soft fan like that. Like I'm not gonna ask them to make it easier so that I can play it. Like those are meant for certain people for certain taste and they like that, and that's okay. It's not for me. It's okay.
part of the fun of FromSoft games is experimenting. If you find certain build not working, switch it up. Change your build. I've done that many times. I played a certain way and then I found out that I can get this weapon from an enemy that does bleed damage. I'm like, fuck yeah, bleed. I like that. Let me hunt for the materials. Let me switch my game style from mage to strength or dexterity build and give me that bleed. And then later I found out I can get a dragon head if I had, or no, I can get a kick-ass weapon if I had 50 ink intelligence. So I switched back to 50 intelligence, and I got that kick-ass spell or weapon, and I carried on my merry way.
You
What
know,
do you?
Elden Ring, I think Elden Ring's the perfect example. Like, I'm not a From Software fan. I'm not a Souls type person at all. Like, and I sat with it, and I like I said, I disparaged it, and I was like, man, this game's trash. This game's garbage. But then I actually like sat my ass down and figured it out. You know what I'm saying? And now, it's one of my favorite games of this year at least. Whereas, then there's no difficulty options. I had to figure it out. And the same with, the roguelikes. Like like I said, I'm only on the third level of Sifu, and I cannot beat the dude. I mean, I cannot beat the boss, but I am sticking with it. You know what I'm saying? And so, I will agree with you that not every game, and me and you and Omar and I, we've had this conversation. Like, not every game's not for everyone. I get that. But if you're truly interested in a game, like I was with Elden Ring, and then, like I said, because it was hard, because it was difficult, and I badmouthed it, and I was like, I'm cool, I'm done with it. But then, if, like I said, you put forth the time and the effort to actually figure it out, and now, I'm on next game plus 5. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm,
Wait. You're a new +5?
yeah,
Holy shit, dude!
yeah, I'm like level like 500 something. You know what I mean? So,
For the people listening, for the people that are on in here, do you have any idea how long it takes to get to to +5? Like, you need to beat the game 5 times over. So are you skipping through most of the anime? But so I'm
I'm
genuinely
killing.
curious.
I'm killing everybody. I mean, like, so I'm I'm killing everybody. You
Who
run up on me, you're done for.
who are
Um,
you? Who
I,
are you? What happened to Ghost? Like, I am flabbergasted.
yeah,
Where is Gran Turismo 7? Are you still touching that? Where is
I mean,
Cyber?
I'm still playing it, but I'm tinkering with the builds. Like you were talking earlier about builds. Like I got this vampire build that is I am literally invincible, and it's just I can probably beat. Like if I got home, I'll be home here in about an hour and a half. I could sit down and beat Elden Ring in probably, I don't know, an hour and a half, and then get on next game plus 6, and rinse and repeat because the build
What?
I have is just absolutely
In-
stupid.
Including Final Boss? Look what's happening.
Oh yeah,
You found the secret.
Melania, Elden Beast, them dudes are no problem.
Yo, who are you? What did you do to Ghost? I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So
So
now,
it's a good game.
imagine if Melania and the Final Boss got a nerf. How does that make you feel?
Oh, didn't Melania get nerfed? I was whooping her before she got nerfed. I'm telling you, in that game, like you said about as far as tinkering with it, I'm telling you, man, oh man. Are you playing Elden Ring, Omar?
No, I have yet to touch it because I was playing something else, but I definitely want to play Elden Ring. I
Well,
didn't forget about it, but there are so many games to play. And
there are.
partly I didn't want to play Elden Ring when the bosses were nerfed, because the bosses were nerfed. I wanted them to play Elden Ring when the bosses were challenging. I want to experience the challenge.
Well,
But
I'm going to tell you right now, like my first run through, um, they were tough, and I struggled with certain like
but
I struggled.
I'm not like you. I have already beat Bloodborne DLC. I beat
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1 and 2. I have yet to play 3. And I beat, I'm at the final boss in Sekiro. And also I beat, so there is, and I played Demon Souls, the original one. I played the next. I after you beat Elden Ring, well, you beat Blood Ring. I highly recommend you play other Soul game now. Demon Souls, Bloodborne. I'm curious how you would experience
I'll give
them.
him. I like Sekiro. I like Sekiro. And I like the Neo games 1 and 2.
Neo is
So
also a game you can enjoy.
yeah, and then I'll get back into them. But like I said, just GT and Elden Ring. But Elden Ring's kind of special because I like how you can actually mix and match, and I guess some of the novelty is like searching around and looking for that perfect blend of build. And to the point now, I will say this now because I'm encroaching like God level. It's not as fun, right? Just because it's too easy now. It's literally too easy. I don't die. Some of the like when
No
new
way.
game or new game plus 3 and 4, I didn't take a hit on any of the
What?
bosses. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, like it takes me about like 5 or 6 swings to kill a boss. So it's ridiculous. Any boss.
Are you using Mimic here?
I'm using the Mimic tier, and then of course I'm Rivers of Blood with Blasphemous Sword, and then I have what's dude's talisman. I've got a bunch of talismans where when I hit you I gain energy. When I kill you I gain energy, and then there's a rune that every time you hit and every time you have a successful blow you gain health back. And then I have one talisman that every time I hit you, or every time I kill you, I get FP back. So, and then that's transferred onto your mimic, and it's just ridiculous. I don't lose. I mean, first of all, I don't get hit, but when I do get hit, I get the energy right back. And I'm using Rivers of Blood and Blasphemous Sword. It's just ass backward.
Yo, that's fascinating, dude.
Yeah.
Hearing you talk about the game make me want to play it, but I'm like, I have audience feel next, and I still need to finish Valkyria Chronicles. It's like too many games.
Yeah,
Also, never.
I'm probably gonna get into Tales of Arise because like I said, a lot of people played it and a lot of people liked it, so I'm gonna check that out, see what it's
Yeah,
about.
you already got it, and also Trichinomi, you already bought that. You said,
Yeah, yeah. Check
yeah,
out Yomi. I bought, and then I bought Tales of Arise last week. Remember I told you?
yeah, you told me.
So
Um, but because of me playing other games, I couldn't get into Tales of Rise, right? Like,
that's cool. It's
but
whatever.
I'm definitely gonna play Tales of Rise. So it's like, um, so it's yeah, we've been around this topic, but at the end of the
Yeah, my
day,
bad. My
no,
bad.
no, no,
Derailed.
no, no. This is a fun conversation. We're having a fantastic conversation. I'm loving it. No, but no, my bad. Take that back. At the end of the day, you are of the belief that you want game to be. Do you, so? Would you agree or you don't agree that not every game should be for everyone? Ghost, you here? Oh, I didn't. I didn't. I was not trying to kick him out. I will apologize when he come back later. So as you can guys hear that even Ghost had to master Elden Ring, and he's now a master at it. So at the end of the day, I disagree. Not every game should be for everyone. Do you guys agree? I'm gonna
I
start
agree.
with you, Weeb.
Um,
Hmm?
well, yeah, I agree that not
You
every
agree?
game should be. Can you hear
What
me?
about you, Kay?
Hmm, no.
Wait, what are we agreeing with or not agreeing with?
Uh, Not every game should be for everyone, and that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Um, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, Akira, glad you made it. Ohio. So, Akira, how do you feel about what's your thoughts on Slow Clap introducing harder mode and also easy mode? with Sifu. Oh, Akira, your audio is absolutely not clear whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
You're back. Now I hear you well. Go ahead. Is it me or is he having audio difficulty, Akira?
Yeah, he's biting.
He's
You guys
batting,
hear
eh?
me?
We hear you now. Go ahead. Akira, you might need to leave and come back because you're having audio difficulty up to wazoo. While you do so, I'm gonna remind Morgan for a game, or rather a DLC for a game that came out, and I'm pretty sure it went past your head and my head. Do you know which game it is?
No. What game?
Back snack. Oh,
yeah.
give me back snack. So
Hello,
apparently
can you
the
guys hear me?
hey,
Weird.
Yeah.
Greatest
Akira,
game of the generation.
1 second. Akira,
Yeah, I mean, seems like Discord is not so friendly to wireless
you're good.
earpods.
You're good now. So, what's your thoughts on
Yeah, because
slowclap?
I changed my mic. I
What?
changed my headphones.
You're good. What's
No,
your thoughts on slowclap introducing easy mode and hard mode?
so I always said that if the developers are open to adding these options, I got nothing against it. It's kind of like this. This is really like my stance on it, right? If a developer doesn't want to do it, you don't crucify them for it. If a developer decides to do it, then you also don't crucify them for it, because if they do it themselves, then it's part of their vision already. Since they did it, right? It's not like From Software where they don't really budge, because it seems like they just really, they have their own philosophy, they have their own creative ideas that it doesn't include adding difficulty options. However, with slowclap, since they added it,
So let me ask you
I
this
think
then. Why
yeah, go ahead.
make it difficult in the beginning then? If you
I think
gonna end up and make it easy, what's the
I think
point? Yeah.
I think it's like this, right? With Sifu, so from what I've noticed is that they wanted to try first, like with let's just say it like this, with the first vision, right? Because when you have creative ideas, you have multiple visions, and basically you always start with one, and you start with your first vision and see how it goes from there. And it seems like with slowclap, their first vision is really to introduce the game without any difficulty options, basically. And it, after the first vision, and they noticed that the second vision maybe would be accessibility, right? To reach more people, to be able to play the game, because it's a great game indeed, and not everybody has the same skill set. And I think that's how I see it. The first vision was no difficulty options, and just try to see who gets in. I think about 2 million played Sifu, right? If I remember the number correctly, 2 million played Sifu,
Yeah.
right? They did a celebration, 2 million, yeah. So 2 million people played the game without difficulty options, right? And then they're going to release the physical version now, and there's going to be more people playing the game. It's going to be more people. There's going to be more numbers. It's going to reach 3, 4. It's going to be crazy, actually, for an indie game. So I think, again, first vision was successful in my opinion, in from how they appreciated it, and the second vision is accessibility, to basically reach as much as people as possible. You got to remember, they're indie devs. They're about over less than 40 developers. They would require to basically spread the word about their game and their studio, and you can achieve that the most with accessibility. From Software went on it the hard way, right? They didn't put difficulty options; they shined that way. But that's the thing, From Software is like years and years of experience. It took them a lot of years to even reach the point of Elden Ring. And slowclap is actually a fairly new studio. Since the first game was Absolver, and it was not really great. It was a good attempt. Let's just say it like that. And that game has no difficulty option, by the way. Absolver it has no difficulty options, and again, it seems like that was always their first mission.
It doesn't have difficulty options.
It doesn't have Absolver doesn't have any difficulty options. No, it doesn't have. And that's what I meant, right? You got the first mission, and maybe they realized maybe accessibility is a good thing as well, because you got to think of it like this, Karaba. They saw 2 million players play the game without difficulty options, right? That's a big ass number, especially for a game like Sifu. Yeah. So it's only natural. It's only natural that you want to reach more people. Like the what if question will be there. Like the developer will be thinking, what if, right? What if we do this? How much more people can we reach? It's kind of like the idea about Sifu, because from my impression with slowclap, right, from their interviews and their behind the scenes, it's a passion project. And when you have a passion project, you want as much as people, as much as possible people that you can.
Did PlayStation?
It's not about fun. I think PlayStation helped them with marketing, if I remember correctly. Slowclap published this game themselves. They got some help from Epic and PlayStation, but they still did the work all on their own. They got some assistance, right? But this like the thing. Slowclap is on a let's just say it like this. Right? This is their second game, and in my opinion, Slowclap found their break. 2 million players for an indie game like Sifu with basically 5 stages, and you only need to repeat and repeat until you get good, and that's basically the fun part. An addicting loop of this game is a major risk, and it's very creative. It's not a normal thing you would see in a AAA space. But they're making numbers that I don't know if 2 million players translates to 2 million people bought the game. Let's just say it like that, right? It's a big number, man. It's a really big number. Like it's near Automata, fucking, sell about 6 million, 5 million units, and that's that was on PlayStation, then went to PC and then Xbox, right? And Sifu right now reached 2 million, and it's only on PS and PlayStation and PC, right? I won't be surprised if they're going to try to release this thing on Xbox as well, because again, the what if question is always going to be there.
No,
what if we do this? Like, how much more we can reach?
That time deal. I don't think that have anything to do with the that exclusivity deal. That's it. So I would not be surprised if it's going to be released on Xbox. But like I said, it's like the thought process is for an indie studio especially. It's like, what if there's a what if question. Of course, let's say if Slowclap is contented with what they have, right, and let's just say PlayStation trying to make a deal already, then of course that other things would happen. But like I said, Slowclap is on their break as a studio. Less than 40 developers reach a milestone, in my opinion. 2 million players is a lot of players. It's very successful for a small ass indie game like this one, and it's a great game in itself. With limited budget and limited people, it's a great game. It works amazing, almost no bugs. It's very polished. It's a great achievement, and I was not really surprised about the difficulty options, because not only about difficulty, right? Sifu has that kung fu, kung fu film feel to it. And the thing about kung fu films is a lot of people are fans of kung fu films. And if you put accessibility options in a game like Sifu, especially for kung fu film fans, you might not only get gamers, you might also get some movie enthusiasts to play the game. Movie kung fu film enthusiasts to play the game who just wants to play the game and just enjoy what they got there to experience without, going so hard on the difficulty. And again, Sifu is like a game for a lot of people, in my opinion. And that's why. No longer for the hardcore now.
It's not well, yeah, okay. So yes, that's the truth that we need to start accepting, because if we don't accept it, then it's just going to be miserable for people who can't accept it. But it is the truth. A lot of because of gaming becoming so big now, it becomes so big. These developers or these studios will keep on trying to reach for the bigger numbers. Will keep on trying to reach for for the most people who can basically get access to the games, who get to spend their money on the games. And what do you call this? Of course, there are some, there'll be exceptions. Of course, people who don't really is not too focused on the money or the people, like Suda51, for example. Suda51 never been focused on the money or the people. He just wants to fucking make games. It's kind of like what Suda51's thing is. And there are exceptions like that. However, if we're going to talk about majority of the people in the game industry, yes, they will start looking, of course, on the bigger amount of people, which is not us hardcore gamers anymore. Unfortunately, it is more on the not really casual. Let's say casual to just someone who just wants to enjoy games. And when you want to enjoy games, not everybody wants the difficulty. The people who wants to enjoy games through difficulty are the hardcores. Like, you can name someone in the community right now. You got Elbefium, for example, or myself, or Sunny Legend, or the Souls fans, or that kind of thing, right? But when it comes to the majority, yeah, harder gamers, we're starting to be in the minority. It's like the JRPG thing, right? Turn-based and action-based. The turn-based used to be, you know what I mean? The turn-based used to be the hardcore JRPG enthusiasts, but now, we're in the minority now. It's now the action-based is in the majority. It's just the same boat, basically, only in a bigger scale. It's the truth, and can just accept it and try to find something you would love in this industry, because it might turn out that there will be less and less things that you will love about it. Metaverse is starting to happen. Live services starting to catch heat and all that shit. Just need to find something then.
So,
Yep.
so when do you draw in the line? Is it if again? Is it if? So imagine if no, not imagine. What's your thought on Kingdom Hearts 3? Cause the way Square
Okay.
Enix handled Kingdom Hearts 3 is for me the definition of a company going out of their way and catering for the less hardcore fan.
Yeah.
This
Kingdom.
Kingdom Hearts 3,
Yeah.
1 second, before you go, because I need to explain it for
Yeah.
other people. Kingdom Hearts 3 is so fucking easy. There is zero hard difficulty. There is that difficult setting, but even then, it does nothing. And also the attractions, the carnival attractions, break the game, make the game super easy. And the final and the secret boss of the game is so easy. I beat him by chugging potions. There is zero planning for it. I didn't even know that he was a hard difficulty boss, and I beat him just like that. So my question for you become: imagine if the next Tifu is like Kingdom Hearts 3. Will you be fine with that?
So, all right, Kingdom Hearts 3 is always a curious discussion, because of the game is despite of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's really hard to tell if it's a success, to be honest, because it's just so divisive compared to Kingdom Hearts 2. It's one of the
Yeah.
It's actually the most divisive Kingdom Hearts games ever. There's so many, in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the most divisive one, and I personally, Kingdom Hearts 2 is still my favorite. I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it had really some cool moments going for it as well. Now, about the difficulty, yes. Kingdom Hearts 3 really has great gameplay as well, but then they did reduce the difficulty. You can actually, you can feel that they reduce the difficulty. It did become, easy. That is true. And that's like Square Enix is also like a special case, right? Square Enix, I love Square Enix, but my main problem with Square Enix is a lot of their games and their talents are being are being pulled down because of corporate, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15 is the main example of how corporate ruins amazing games from amazing talent. Right? They got so many hard hitting names in their belt under their belt, and they keep on ruining it through corporate decisions. Right? Like Tetsuya Nomura and to Yoko Taro and basically all Tabata and Kitase and all these amazing talents. And the truth back then, through their corporate dumbass decisions that they did, basically what ruined Kingdom Hearts 3 and 15, Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, those two games would have been more perfect than they would have been right now if corporate didn't just fucking involve themselves during the development, because they were really most at fault in that development hell period. Now, yes, they did try to cater to more people, like to a majority of people. They did kind of overlook the fans. I think the most things you can get from Kingdom Hearts 3 for the fans is basically the fan service, seeing all these characters together, like Terra, Roxas, Scion, Riku, Kairi, and Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and basically seeing them all together after playing games like Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts, basically the whole franchise. Those were the fan service parts, right? But the core of the game did kind of try to cater. And yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 has some really valid criticisms towards this game that I cannot even defend myself. Now, that's the thing, right? I do agree with you, Karaba, about you should still try to listen to your fans, which they are doing, because if you play the DLC Kingdom Hearts Remind, they completely turn it over.
I know there is a difficulty boss fight, but that's just them catering to. I think they knew they fucked up and they had to do something.
No, they knew. That's why Remind happened, and Remind was basically everything a Kingdom Hearts fan would want. That's like the thing. Yeah, Remind was the first sign that all right, they listened to the loud criticism about Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3 left such a bad taste in my mouth that I refuse to give them money for Rewind, but I'm definitely gonna do that because I wanna experience the real Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, man, I can understand the bad taste thing. Yeah, I get that, but again, Remind is so worth it, man. I believe me, it's just so worth it. It's the best part. Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 should have been Remind. That's what I'm gonna tell you, but. Now about Sifu, right? Sifu is a bit of a difficult conversation because Kingdom Hearts is kind of like Kingdom Hearts is stuck basically within gaming, right? Maybe Disney, sure, you can argue Disney, but then still Kingdom Hearts is mostly still stuck within gaming because as much as people like the Disney characters in Kingdom Hearts, nobody there's almost barely any people who plays the game for the Disney characters. You know what I mean? They're just a great bonus to look at there.
And even
that's gaming again. That's still gaming. That's what I meant, right? Kingdom Hearts is kind of it's stuck in gaming because nobody would not nobody. Minority of people would play Kingdom Hearts and gonna say I played it for the Disney character. Yeah, I've never heard that before. So that's what I meant. Sifu is kind of different because. Sifu, like I said, you can have movie fans be a fan of this game. Kung Fu movie fans would. One of the main reasons why I first even wanted Sifu is when I was watching the first trailer, it reminded me of Kung Fu movies that I love, like Raid Redemption, Old Boy, and Jackie Chan movies. And this kind of like the main reason I didn't even know about the difficulty in the first trailer. Right? They didn't say that. Like the only reason why I like it is, man, this looks like a really fun kung fu flick movie game, and then they, before the game released, they revealed the difficulty thing, and that was a bonus in my opinion because I love a challenge. But I would have played. Yeah, that's the crazy part. I would have played the game even without the difficulty thing. If it had difficulty options on launches, would still play the game because, like I said, my main reason was I'm a huge kung fu fan, kung fu film fan. And that was my main reason. And knowing that, Karaba, is why Sifu is kind of a different conversation because even movie fans can get into it. And it's kind of like the problem, right? You said catering to majority, but that's the thing. They are catering to the majority. They are catering to potential audience that they may have, which is outside of gaming as well. And those will be called casuals as well, because it might be their first game. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like the idea with seafood. That's why it's a different conversation with Kingdom Hearts 3. Although again, catering is such it's a word I really hate. I really hate pandering. I really hate when somebody panders to something. I hate when somebody caters to something. I hate when developers or studios do that. But I think there's a level to it, right? I think there's a level to it, because what I meant by that is that what if it's also what the developers want to do, right? What if it's also what the developers want to do? That kind of pandering, like let's say it synchronizes with the fans, or it synchronizes with the majority of the people who want to play the game, and it's something the developers want to do as well, right? But for example, man, a great example, Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 is a great example, because a lot Naughty Dog was accused a lot that they're catering, that they're pandering, that they did this and that. But it's like the thing, man, they wanted to do it. I mean, look at Neil Druckmann and Haley and all these Naughty Dog developers. It's so obvious they wanted to do it themselves. Even if they were seen as pandering, they still wanted to do it. And that's why I said there's some levels to it. I think pandering is only sickening if it looks like they were forced to do it. But if catering looks like the creators wanted to do it, then that's not catering. That's kind of like just the interests aligning properly. They just synchronize with each other. That's why it looked like they were catering, even though they're not, because that's what they wanted to do in the first place. That's why I said there's levels to it.
Gotcha. So with that being said, anyone anything else to say about this topic? Nope. Then I'm gonna move on to the next topic. Akira, can you break it for me down when it comes to Badland Wonderland? What's happening?
Oh my god.
That's why I wanted to have you here.
You know Yuji Naka, right? You heard of him, right?
Who?
Yuji Naka, that guy that was, trying to complain about Square Enix.
I don't know them, but go ahead and explain.
No, yeah, I'm trying to, I'm break it down. But is Weeb there? Weeb, are you there? You know Yuji, right? You heard his name before.
I don't know him directly, but I know him in this context. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yuji Naka
the original
is
creator for Sonic, if I'm correct.
he's one of the original developers of Sonic. Yes, that's Yuji Naka. And again, Yuji Naka is a rocky history. The reason why this whole thing is kind of, I'm kind of I'm kind of 50-50 on it if I'm going to believe him or not, because he has a rocky history. Yuji Naka, so from what I read, right, it was not corporate that basically ousted.
Can you first explain what he said and then...
Oh yeah, so basically he said that Square Enix, well, he is right in some way, by the way, because I said myself, right, I said Square Enix sometimes really makes dumbass decisions with corporate, not caring too much about what the creator wants to have or wants to do or wants to happen, because they want to force their thing, their corporate thing to them, and that really happens sometimes. Square Enix, as much as I love the developers, Square Enix, and I love the company itself, the problem is really sometimes they have the dumbasses running the corporate part of it. That's kind of like what ruins Square Enix. That's what causes the hit and misses in Square Enix, is their corporate. It really is. Like, the Square Enix was almost bankrupt before because of corporate. Remember when Square Enix was almost bankrupt, right?
And PlayStation
that was not
had to save them, right?
Yeah, and that's like the funny thing. That was not the developer's fault. That was the corporate fault. And you know what's the funny part about PlayStation needing to save them? That was the one of the main catalysts why they were almost bankrupt. This previous, God, I hate that guy so much. One of the previous heads of Square Enix, basically the great relationship that he had with PlayStation, fucking break that. Turn his back and basically try to make business with somebody else, Microsoft. and they did that, right?
So what you're telling me is Microsoft almost bankrupted Square?
It's not it's not Microsoft's fault. No. They were
Okay.
just
No,
they
no,
were
I'm
just
just
one of
trying
the
to
people.
to
Yeah,
understand.
they were just one of the companies that they get to make a deal with. But that's like the thing, right? They prioritize making a deal with others than PlayStation. I don't know what the fuck happened with that guy. I really hate that era, and I hate that guy so much. I forgot his name, but I hate him because of it. He almost single-handedly ran Square Enix to the ground. And after he's not with the company anymore. That's when Square Enix got to bounce back. But yeah, that's like the funny part, right? They're almost bankrupt. PlayStation, helped saving them, and that was like the main catalyst because they stopped making great deals or a great relationship with PlayStation because of corporate decisions. Like I said, corporate decisions, and these Square Enix is plagued by that. Really, sometimes the corporates just makes dumbass decisions, and they are plagued by that. And it's really sad because they have so much talent in their company that is going to shine as long as they manage them properly, not try to handle them like an iron fist kind of thing, like forcing them to do stuff.
So
Like with Final Fantasy,
welcome to this.
like with 15, right? Like with 15, Tetsuya Nomura working on verses 13 and 15, right?
That's so
bad. He worked
bad.
he worked on that project, right? He worked on that project for almost 7 years, 8 years. That basically they fucking removed them, put him on Kingdom Hearts 3 by force, and gave Tabata the leftover, and just basically you see this, you work it out until release date. It's up to you. That's basically what happened to 15. That's why so many cut content, so many DLCs, because it was forced. It was rushed. That was the problem. Kingdom Hearts 3 happened the same thing. It was rushed, and because of those corporate decisions, that's why these two games have this fate right now. It's really sad because they would have been perfect. They could have been.
So developers have nothing to say in it.
That's like the thing. Corporate still has really the most say. The developers can try to. The lead developers can try to basically give their input on it. But if corporate says something, then they can't do anything as well, because these are the people who are basically funding and managing them. It's not always possible for them. And fun fact, by the way, I was Sai Games, right? Developers of Grand Blue Fantasy Relic, Project Awakening, Project Cam, right? Fun fact, Sai Games was born out of pissed off Japanese ex-developers from Capcom, Sega, and mostly Square Enix. Actually, one of the first developers Sai Games had were pissed off employees from Square Enix.
Wow.
it's basically Sai Games, Sai Games is just pissed off employees from Japanese studios.
So tell me, how is the perception for Square Enix for Japanese people for Square Enix? Do they love them?
Square Enix is loved, and because Square Enix is only seen by their games. Especially in Japan, people love Dragon Quest, for example, right? Final Fantasy. Square Enix is loved because of their franchises. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy.
They can do no wrong?
Yeah, they
can get away with stuff like this?
It's you gotta see it like it's Nintendo. You gotta see it that way. It's kind of like how you're gonna look at it, like it's like Nintendo. But so about that, right? So Yuji Naka, there is some truth in what he says, and the only problem is Yuji Naka has a rocky history that it's hard to believe everything that he said there, especially the part where
you have yet to say what he said.
So yeah, okay. So he said a lot of things, right? One of the main things, again, that I agree with is he said Square Enix, doesn't care about the games, or developers. They care more about the, money, right? It's kind of like the idea, and apparently, one of his main complaints was it was corporate, basically. They were working them to the bone. They're forcing them to do things that he don't want to do. blah blah blah, and people were not very cooperative and shit like that. And the now with every context that you have from everything he said, the main thing that you need to know about what happened though is it was not really corporate, who ousted him, right? It was his own team. His own team ousted him, and he didn't say the reason. By the way, he said his own team ousted him, and if we don't know anything about why, then you can only guess that. Yeah, it must have been a terrible person to work with if your whole team don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? Because the funny thing about
to be not good with
yes, the funny thing about his team ousting him is because it is the same exact similar thing that happened with him back in Sega. His original Sonic team ousted him as well. And apparently some of them said that he's not really that great a person to work with. Again, he has a rocky history. He's talented, but he has a rocky history. Well, some developers back then said, he's too controlling, not that great of a person, he's not very friendly. He's not that kind of thing. And the original Sonic teams ousted him, and now in Bound Wonderland, his team ousted him as well. And now he's complaining about Square Enix and the fate of Bound Wonderland. And again, I'm 50-50 though, because I'm really sure some of the stuff he says is true. But I'm also kind of skeptical about the other stuff that he said, especially when it's to his favor. Especially when it's something that ignores what the main problem is. Some of the stuff he says doesn't really. It's like he did no wrong. You know what I mean? It's like he did no wrong. It's just them. I'm shifting the blame on them, and that's why I'm 50-50 on, because of his rocky history and the way he's shifting blame. The Bound Wonderland happened that way because of Square Enix own. I think that's no. I don't think so, right? That's why I'm 50-50 on that one. So yeah, you see here, Yuji he's gonna sue from what I heard, right? I don't know what grounds, but he could try. He could try. I mean, like a lot of people try to sue Nintendo. You know what happened. You know what happened. So yeah, that's kind of like all you need to know about it. And by the way, you all really need to pay attention. I personally don't pay attention to it anymore because, that issue is going to die down fast. Because again, Yuji, a lot of people know about his history. Not everybody's going to believe him, and I don't think I don't think he even has a case to begin with to even sue. That's like the thing. Yeah. And if that happens, I think it's going to be behind closed doors, just like how Nintendo does it. If it ends up in court, then that's kind of like the only update that we're going to get about it. But apart from that, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. To be honest, this is kind of like the sad part about it, because again, the man is talented. He's just had this history that nobody's certain about. But again, people who work with him doesn't seem to like him at all. And there's got to be a reason for that.
Did you play Balan Wonderland?
Oh no, I didn't, because when I saw that game, I'm like, nah. I didn't like it. I didn't like while I was watching the trailer, I didn't like it.
I played the demo and I want my 30-minute back or 40-minute back. It's atrocious. Instead of one jump button, there is literally 3 or 4 jump buttons.
Make the right decision.
And it's so tedious that you're only allowed to have 3 masks that you can change from, and they made it so tedious. They made the jump so tedious. We've helped me out of here. This is one of the worst.
You played Balan Weep? You played Balan Weep?
I played the demo. Come on. Give me some credit.
Oh, I thought you bought, man. I would have been like, we normally as Tays, like, what the fuck happened? If I found out you bought that game.
No, but because he played the demo, he knows the torture that I've been through.
Yeah, I don't believe for a second there was ever a good game in there.
This is like the thing about Square Enix. However, moving forward, right? Moving forward right now, there is some silver lining that I'm seeing from Square because they seem to start learning from a lot of their mistakes. One sec. So they seem to learn. No, there are a lot of signs that they seem to start learning about a lot of the mistakes they did back in the past, right? Some examples that I can think of is Final Fantasy 16 right now. To be honest, the way they're handling Final Fantasy 16 as of right now is really well done, in my opinion. Like Yoshi P is really keeping this game close to his chest until it's ready, right? They say it's final stages in development, and we're still not seeing the second trailer, and that's kind of like the sign that they learned from Final Fantasy 15. Because if you remember 15, right, that game was not ready at all, and they kept showing it.
Yeah,
they kept on showing it.
15 was absolutely
right?
not ready.
They kept on showing it. This one, however, with 16, right, they keep it close to their chest. They give some updates here and there, but they're not giving anything concrete. Yoshi P is communicating properly with the people who's waiting for it, right? He's not leaving them in the dark or in the dust. And until we see the second one, now if the second reveal is successful for me, that would be like the 100%. Like I'll be 100% certain that Square Enix finally learned their mistake from Final Fantasy 15, because so far it's looking good what they're doing with 16. So that's another silver lining. Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. Now these are early impressions because I only read Nomura's interviews, right? The main difference with Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4 is that it seems like Nomura has more he has more power this time in development on the game, right? Because a lot of the things he showed or he said are basically what you said. It's what the Kingdom Hearts fan wants. For example, one of the main examples is, I'm so happy about it too, is the reaction commands from Kingdom Hearts to his back, right? That's something that has been long time requested. One of the loud criticisms about Kingdom Hearts 3 actually was the lack of reaction commands, right? So that was the first sign. All right, he's listening to criticisms. Second would be, of course, Final Fantasy characters. We're gonna see if they're gonna listen to that. Mm-hmm. But then Tetsuya Nomura also said something where like, the game is steady in development. It's going to transition to Unreal Engine 5, and it's going to look better. It's going to run better. He said something has been in development for a while. He said that it's not early stage of development. Actually, he said it's been in development for a while, but then they are not going to show anything until he feels like it's ready to be shown. Mm-hmm. So basically, like a Final Fantasy 16 approach. If you remember Kingdom Hearts 3 again, they kept showing that game. It's not fucking ready.
What's your thought
so yeah, there are some silver lining in my opinion. I'm cautiously optimistic.
What's your thoughts on him saying that they're calling it Verum Rex?
Oh no, Nomura said that he was given the choice if he can make a Kingdom Hearts game 4 or a Verum Rex standalone spin-off game.
I heard that they said him and his team are literally calling Kingdom Hearts Venom Rex.
I also read that. So that was like the interesting part, right? So he already said he decided Kingdom Hearts 4 because people want to know what happened to Sora, which is only natural because of that cliffhanger from Remind, but then they call the game Verum Rex, and again, that's very interesting. And one thing I can only see that is because Yozora is going to be there. It's kind of like my guess for Kingdom Hearts 4. Yozora is going to be there because Remind made him important, in my opinion. Kind of made him a little bit important. And I think Yozora is going to be there. That's why they kept calling it Verum Rex. However, I still think we're getting that Verum Rex game eventually. I really believe they're going to do it. They're going to make that game, Verum Rex. But
So
yeah,
you
again,
think
these are
he was not able
signs.
to move past Venom Rex? It's almost like he have something to prove, or he can't.
No. Verum Rex is obviously his ideas that he was not able to use
Yeah,
in versus
Final Fantasy
13.
13 versus basically.
He has been Nomura, 15. If you before read interviews from Tetsuya Nomura about Final Fantasy 15, right, or versus 13, based on his interviews, Final Fantasy 15 was kind of like Nomura's scale bound, like with Kamiya. It's like a very, very passionate project. It's very close to his heart, right? Whenever he talks about Noctis back in the days in interviews, he always mentions like like he mentions Cloud, of course, one of his, like, let's say, priced characters, and then he's saying something like Noctis is kind of like my new baby. That's kind of like what he said, right? Noctis is kind of like my new baby, and he's going to be a little bit different from Cloud, but then hopefully you love him as much as you love Cloud. It's kind of like what he says before in his interviews about Noctis when he created Noctis. And reading all that and now seeing Verum Rex with Kingdom Hearts, it's obvious. It's just Nomura using ideas that he had for Versus 13 and applying it to Kingdom Hearts, since that's basically his franchise now, like his main franchise now. He let go of Final Fantasy 7. That's basically Kitase and Nojima's show now. What's that? About Verum Rex, it's basically like Bayonetta 3, right? When you see Bayonetta 3, you can obviously see scale bound ideas in that game from the trailer. It's basically Kamiya, also the same thing, right? Leftover ideas from a passion project that he cannot use because of the game being taken away from him, like with Nomura, and basically applying it to the game that they have right now, just Bayonetta, and for Nomura, it's Kingdom Hearts. So it's very obvious, man. It's not even a secret. Nomura, he was very passionate about 15. It was a passion project, and like I said, a corporate dumbass Square Enix took it away from him, and now he's trying to make amends. It's kind of like how I see it, right? He's trying to apply those ideas in a way that he can think of that is going to fit in. Instead of being a Final Fantasy character, he's going to be a Kingdom Hearts character under the name of Yozora. It's kind of like, yeah, that's it. He's not trying to prove anything. It's basically just Nomura trying to apply ideas, which I'm all in for, man. All in for it.
Gotcha. Pano, what's your thoughts on this? What we just covered? Yeah, I thought so. You guys didn't play Badland Wonderland, so I don't think you have any experience with it. Anyone here played Kingdom Hearts 3? Beside me and Akira?
Sure.
No one. Interesting.
We would have played it.
I was expecting Weeb to have played it.
Oh, no. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I saw that. Right. You did. Did you like it at least?
Yeah, it was straight. Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4 is better.
You played 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played 3.
How was it for you?
It's gonna be better. I'm sure of it.
Okay. Not my favorite Kingdom Hearts, but
I agree.
4 is gonna be better.
It's really
I mean, hopefully,
with how they handled 3 DLC. Again, I recommend you to play the DLC because apparently it's a totally different.
Yeah,
game.
no, Remind is the best part. It's like a different game. That's true.
Yeah.
That's actually true. It's like a different game.
I actually believe Remind should have been literally the should have been free with how they butchered the Kingdom Hearts 3, but that's just my opinion.
It's kind of hard to say that, man, because Remind had decent
But
content.
I will move on to the next topic, which basically is
Okay.
a shocking, and I don't know if this happened to any of you, but if this happened to me, I would be pissed. And this is right now at Microsoft, but I don't know how PlayStation and Xbox handle this shit. So what I'm talking about is basically, give me a second to get the article because this is bad. So, Xbox gamers sent Halo themed Series X for repair. So this is the Halo limited edition of the Xbox Series X. It's $50 more expensive the original one, so $550. And the Halo edition, and they basically told him they would be getting the basic console back. So they took the Halo edition from him, and instead of giving him another Halo edition, they're saying we're gonna give you a normal edition back.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna
very
start with UK. How do you feel about something like that if PlayStation did it? And I don't know if they have the same policy. If they do, then I'm gonna rip them a new one as well.
Who did what?
So basically, he bought the Halo Series X edition. You seen it, right?
The Halo what edition? I don't think I've seen it.
It's a collector edition for Series X, Halo themed.
Okay.
Okay, and it broke, and he sent it for repairs. And they told him, we're gonna give you the standard edition in return. And the Halo edition cost $50 more. How does that make you feel?
How did it break? Was it their fault, or was there something wrong with?
Basically, the console was defect, and he had warranty.
Oh. It was void of warranty, like it expired.
No. I don't think it was void of warranty, which is why I'm covering it. If that was the case, they would have never. 1 second. If he was void of warranty, they would have told him, your warranty is voided, so we can't do anything for you. But the fact that they're giving him a Series X and not a themed Series X, Halo Infinite, not only is he losing $50 on his purchase, he is also losing a collector item. That is the Series X collector edition. How does that make you feel?
I don't know why they couldn't fix it, like, replace a part, inside, or like, I don't know why they couldn't repair it.
That's a good one. Why couldn't they repair it? Nate, you're here, but you're not here. You're a tech dude. Why do you think they couldn't repair it? Is it that difficult to remove the plate from Series X?
He's not here, Omar. How can he answer that?
He is literally in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So we're connecting. We're having conversation through that.
But we don't know. I mean, what the reason
That's why
was. Maybe
I'm asking Nate. Is it easy or difficult to fix something and replace? Because with PlayStation, you can literally replace your what's called your panels with a press of a button. Remove and replace.
But
with Series X seems to be different.
I think it just depends on what was actually wrong with it. Maybe it was beyond fixable, and they just had to replace it.
But
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure
so
out.
then, why not give him one of the collector editions then?
Probably because they were
Or
out.
or even
Yeah,
or even
probably
give
they're
or even
limited edition, dude.
or even give him
But
money
say you gonna have
back.
to give me like a $50 reimbursement card, though.
Yeah, or
That shit was
even
a lot more expensive.
something like a fucking what's called that
I'm
controller that they
my
should
my
play.
thought was actually more cynical why they did it, right? Think about it, right? The Halo Edition is a very, very let's say right now rare.
Akira, wait. So Innate said they should be able to repair the internal period. So is it laziness on their part?
No, no. Again, I was about to say it. My reasoning or my thought process was more cynical because the Halo Xbox Edition is a rare, equipment, right? Technically it's rare right now, that edition. So
Oh, you think that they're
my
gonna?
cynical mind, yeah,
You think
it's
they're
either they
literally
kept
gonna
it for
fix it
themselves,
and say,
yeah,
"Nah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that would make me
That's how I'm
livid,
thinking about it.
dude."
But again, if because you got to think about it, right? There is technically no like on if you take it at face value, there's technically no rule or law that they broke at face value. You know what I mean? Because basically they said that it cannot be repaired. And
Then
if you're not tech savvy,
then give it
if
to
you're not
me.
tech savvy, right?
Then give it
If
to
you're
me
not tech
back.
savvy, right?
But then give it to me
No,
back. Look,
I
it's my
get that.
property. My property. I have warranty. Give it to me and give me my money back. Simple.
Yeah, but the guy obviously didn't try, right? Did he try?
There is no real information about what happened after that.
Yeah, that's what I meant, right? Let's just say, for example, Carla, he didn't try. Then again, my thought process is not very impossible. It's a rare edition. You can either keep it for yourself or you can sell it higher. You gotta think about it.
Let me ask you this: Have you ever had anything happen like this with PlayStation or Nintendo? I'm curious.
No, I never heard of any special edition PlayStation 4s replaced with a regular one. Never heard of it, to be honest. Yeah, I never heard of any.
What about Nintendo?
No, as well. This is crazy. Nintendo would be the first one to do it, but nah. Yeah, I also know. Actually, they're pretty intact with their special editions.
This innate thing, they should be able to repair the eternal period. The point of a repair center is that they are supposed to fix it in the way you can. So we might actually have a case what Akira said, which is if I was the dude, I would literally sue Microsoft. It's over.
Or he's just gonna sue that repair. Wait, is that Microsoft Repair Center?
Yeah, because it literally.
Okay, yeah. Basically suing Microsoft. Yeah. So this is the thing, right? I think he would have a case because if it can be proven that it can be repaired by normal means, then he definitely has a case for it.
If it
I would go for it. To be honest.
If it can't be repaired by normal means, it's still something that he should be able to get back. It's his property, and he have a warranty.
Yeah, no, I get
he
that.
should be able to. Yeah, so we might actually have a case of what's called fraudulent at work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to you, Weeb. How would that make you feel if that happened to you?
No, bro, I'd be angry as hell. Yeah, go ahead, Weeb. Sorry.
Yeah, we would be pissed, but I mean, I probably wouldn't be in that position. That's. I mean, if we
How did it break, by the way? Do we know how it broke?
Because it's trash.
I'm not here to do controversial.
He used it for something that it wasn't intended for. Play games. No. I think for PlayStation 5, I mean, I'm kind of glad that they use make the plates detachable, because I'd say if we're ever going to get like a special edition, it probably will just have customized plates, so you can just make sure that you take those off when you send it to for repair, so that will never happen to you. Um, yeah, sure, but yeah, I will be pissed. But basically, you're getting. I mean, the possibly there might be in their terms of service some conditions say that there's no, they don't have to give you back the same one that you bought. But yeah, I mean, there is a price difference there that they're not compensating. So at the very least, they should do that. But yeah, I mean, sucks to suck. I mean, if I were this person, I would tell them, look, I want my original back.
I want the
Uh,
original back, yeah, and I want
yeah,
my money.
I
And I
mean, I
want,
mean, if well, I
yeah,
mean, fine if they give me a replacement console, because I still need the console, but then give me back the original one, because you clearly can't repair it.
yeah,
Or
it's
at
my
least
ownership,
so,
yeah.
so yeah, what's the point of keeping it? Just send it back. I
Hmm.
mean, if they say, yeah, I mean, they have to pay for shipping, then fine. I mean, I would do that, but we still want to have it back. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Again, I have never heard of this happening with PlayStation or with any other collector's console, but I know maybe this is something that has happened before, or maybe. I mean, yeah, we don't know how often a console or collector's edition breaks, because
I
obviously they're.
remember, I remember it happening with Nintendo, with the Joy-Con drift. I remember that there was Joy-Con drift for the collector edition for a console
For
uh,
Switch. Yeah.
for a Switch Lite, and they didn't repair. They were not able to repair it, so they gave him a Switch, normal Switch Lite back. Don't quote me on that. I need to do more research on this one.
So yeah, it may be more common than we think. I mean, I don't seriously think that they're gonna, like Akira suggested, they're gonna resell it. Um, uh, I think they either couldn't repair it, or they figured repairing it would be more expensive than just giving a new console, and just gave him a new console.
Yeah. Morgan, how does that make you feel if that
Um,
happened to you?
yeah. I don't know, like, cause Halo means a lot to a lot of people. It's
No, no, no.
Xbox flagship.
Forget Halo. Imagine if this is a Forbidden West or a Last of Us 2
No, I know.
limited
I'm just
edition.
saying, as far as the established IP means a lot to somebody. So I know that the Halo edition of the Xbox probably meant a lot to that person. So to have it replaced with the normal one, especially if you were like hunting, it was hard to get a hold of that Halo edition. So going through all that, getting it, and then of course having it break or whatever, and then sending it in to just be told that you're gonna get a normal one back, like I'd be pissed. Like it's it really I don't understand why they couldn't make another one. Like I understand they're limited edition, but I mean it was really just paint. Like you couldn't just paint another one. Like um it and I don't know if they updated or if the person who this happened to said if they reimbursed them the extra 50 or whatever for that console, but I don't know. That it seems like some bullshit. Like I don't know. It just seems like some bullshit. I would be all over Twitter tagging Xbox like until they gave me back the edition that I sent to them. Like yeah, it would be uproar for me.
I agree. If that was my console, I would be livid. I might have actually sued them. Like, no joke. I would actually contemplate genuinely sue them. Cause that's dick move and a half.
I, I,
And,
I
yeah,
would have been super pissed, and um, I probably would have said, "Hey, give me back my Halo console, and like don't trade me." And I would try to find someone outside of Xbox to see if it really is repairable or not. And because like the worst thing that's gonna happen, like it's already broken, so the worst thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna open it up and then they're like, can't fix it, and then put it back together.
Gotcha. Um, the final, last two topics. Basically, PlayStation. Who can explain to me what happened with PlayStation and them shutting down stacking? Because genuinely, I don't understand it. Weeb, do you have any information about this one? Because I don't understand it.
I haven't exactly read what they did, but from what I understand is that they seem to have temporarily stopped allowing you to stack it until their new tiered service is going live. And after that, you should be able to stack again.
Gotcha. So basically, if I remember correctly, there was a loophole and they closed it, and people are.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the reason they're doing it. There was a loophole indeed that you could stack PS Now. I'm not sure at no additional or reduced cost. What they plugged that like the day after, so that was that was only a very short opportunity you had. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's the reason. But yeah, there's of course there's going to be a conversion in terms of the subscriptions you've bought, because like PS Now is, if I'm not mistaken, no longer separately available. So yeah, you either have to get like the second or third tier to get PS Now. So the idea is then that they will if you already bought paid for subscriptions ahead of time, like a year or whatever, that will be converted to remaining value. I believe like it's if you bought a month of PS Now, it's like 3 weeks of the new tiered service. I think they're probably doing that because of that, so that they don't have too much difficulty converting those. I don't know for sure, but from what I understand, it's just temporary, and people are outraged about it, even though apparently Microsoft and Nintendo also don't allow you to stack longer than 3 years, I believe. I think Sony never put a limit on that, and probably will reinstate the option to stack wherever you want to after their new services go live. So yeah, it's not really a big issue, I think.
It feels to me like what's called how should I say that nothing burger.
Yeah, exactly.
Morgan, do you have anything to add to this one?
Yeah, I looked at it. Didn't really look at it too long. Like it did seem like we've said like you'll be able to stack as soon as they get their ducks in a row with the new service. It seems like they're just doing it just so things don't get conflated, and this is going to be a completely new service, as we know. So I'm sure they just paused it so that they could get everything in order for when the new service comes out. So yeah, it seems temporary. It doesn't really seem that big of a deal. It just seems like something people are doing because we want to see PlayStation do something negative.
Yeah,
basically.
Okay, do you have anything to add to it?
No, I agree with Morgan.
Yeah, me too. And Akira, I'm pretty sure you agree as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny just to see people get mad that they cannot scam a company.
Yep.
It's kind of like how I see it. But no, I mean, people try to find ways, right? To save money as much as possible. But yeah, man, it's they're gonna bring it back, and I'm just waiting if PS Premium has God Hand, and I'm gonna get it. If not, then I'm not gonna get it. Just want to play God Hand.
Yeah.
Also, it's Yoshi P's birthday, by the way.
And the final topic is
49 years old.
the final topic is apparently Warner Brothers is in talk with PlayStation, Nintendo, and Microsoft and other companies to sell their gaming division, gaming studio, and license their IPs. That's big. If PlayStation will get the hold on Neverland Studio, and they're gonna get the IP for Injustice, they're gonna get the IP for Tekken. They're gonna be no,
Mortal
not
Kombat.
Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Thank you. Imagine a Flash game by Insomniac or Sucker Punch, especially with the SSD on PlayStation 5. Like, I
Nah,
need that shit.
nah, man. All Sony needs to do is get Rocksteady. That's all they need to do.
That's also a smart move. I'm gonna start with you, Weeb. What's your thoughts on this one? And who do you think is gonna end up with Warner Brothers?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure if Sony's gonna end up with them because, yeah, they're selling their studios and licensed IP. So I assume, not sure if that means that they will have the IP indefinitely, or if it's just like with EA had the exclusive Star Wars license for a while, and that's sort of the deal you're gonna get. I mean, the studios themselves, I'm not sure if is Rocksteady owned by Warner Brothers, or are they just a publisher? I'm not very sure about that. But yeah, you still have Mortal Kombat. You have, but yeah, other than that, they don't have say really top tier developers. So I'm not that to say hyped for the quality they're going to get, unless they're going to get a Rocksteady. But the
I have a
the IP
question.
are interesting.
With Insomniac existence, do we even need a Rocksteady? Remember,
Well,
Spider-Man literally outsold every single Batman
yeah,
game.
I mean, what I would be asking, do we, does Sony need the DC IPs if they're already having this deal with Marvel where they can basically already have, let's say, the comic book game
Yeah,
market way unlocked?
because then PlayStation would be the home for superheroes. Whether
Yeah,
Rocksteady is worth it, man. Rocksteady is worth it. I don't care. Rocksteady's worth it.
yeah, I
It's
thought about it for a
yeah.
millisecond, and not only Rocksteady is worth it. Before Spider-Man was a thing, Rocksteady was a king when it comes to superhero games, especially their
Oh,
Batman.
they still will be. That Suicide Squad game is looking great. They will be again.
Mm, yeah.
So, in
Well,
your opinion, Rocksteady over Insomniac?
No. I think they're a tie. Insomniac and Rocksteady is a tie to me. Although it's kind of hard to say that as well, because Insomniac has something. They do something better than Rocksteady. They're really fast and great at releasing games, and Rocksteady does take time. However, with Rocksteady, it could be a management thing as well. With WB Games, right? So it's kind of hard to tell if that's even let's say an applicable comparison, right? But when it comes to the games that they created, both of them, I think they're a tie because they both the games that they both created, I enjoyed both of them. Well, Rocksteady only started to catch some heat with the Arkham games. They were not really great developers before, or a studio before. Insomniac was technically great already ever since. They were just not that popular until Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they're a tie to me personally.
Mm.
That's why I
Morgan,
want Rocksteady.
Morgan, what about you?
To me, it doesn't really matter about these studios unless you get the IPs. Like the IPs mean more to me than the studios, like Batman, Mortal Kombat, all that. So, if anything, I would want Sony to prioritize if they were interested, which the article said that Sony was one of the publishers
Yeah.
interested. To focus more on the IPs and the studios. Like Rocksteady would be great, but I would put most of my efforts to getting the IPs if that's what they're interested in.
Gotcha. So more focused IPs than the studios themselves. Okay. What about you?
I'm in agreement with Morgan, because we know that PlayStation, that they have great talent already. So I would be more focused on getting the IPs, and then, if it's just the IPs, and PlayStation already has the talent to put good games out. We just need the IP. So
Gotcha. Akira, what about you? Okay, gotcha.
No, I mean, again, Rocksteady. I don't know, man. There's something exciting about Insomniac and Rocksteady being under the same belt, and again, Rocksteady getting better management. Instead of WB Games to be Sony, maybe they can finally release Rocksteady's true potential. It's kind of like, again, this is like the thing about Insomniac,
why are
right?
you focusing on Rocksteady and not Neverland Studio? You're a fighting game. You're a fan of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I am a fan. No, no, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan. The last Mortal Kombat I played was 10. I haven't played the other two yet because I got a falling out with Mortal Kombat. There's something about it that I didn't like anymore, and that's why I'm not a big fan of Mortal Kombat. If ever, NetherRealm actually, in my opinion, is more suited for Microsoft because a lot of people are against my idea, but I really think NetherRealm can create a Killer Instinct game. But that's up to them. But again, if Sony gets NetherRealm, I'm fine with that. Although again,
PlayStation does need what's called
fighting game studio.
Yeah, fighting studio.
Yeah, Arc System Works. Yes, Arc System Works. Why would you get NetherRealm over Arc System Works? You get ArcSys. Hell yeah. They could, if they want fighting game studios, right? There's like 2 right now was free if they would be willing to sell, which is Arc System Works and A-Ting. A-Ting created Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Bloody Roar, all these great fighting games. Those 2. I would take both of them over NetherRealm Studios. But no, I mean, there's a lot of Mortal Kombat fans as well, undeniably. NetherRealm Studios could be also great for PlayStation. Who can tell? I mean, they're not on Evo. Wait, they're in. I don't think MK is on Evo, if my memory serves me right. But yeah, for me it's Rocksteady because, like I said, WB Games seems to have this kind of management thing going on with Rocksteady. That's why they're so slow at releasing a game compared to Insomniac. And like I said, Insomniac was talented already before they even got bought by Sony. But then their name, the studio, started to really shine after, they're under Sony. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows Insomniac now. Back in the day, no, they don't. Not everybody knows Insomniac. And Rocksteady is kind of underrated. They are amazing developers, but they are kind of underrated. And, deep down, I kind of think, because Sony can work their magic the way they did with Insomniac, Rocksteady might be one of those names that's going to be standing, beside Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, all these great, Santa Monica, all these great names that people look up to now. Rocksteady got that potential. And that's why I think Rocksteady is perfect to be with Sony. But that's my opinion. And of course, PlayStation being the home of superheroes is an insane way of marketing the PlayStation 5. Imagine that you could tell people you like superheroes. well, this is the only box you can play superheroes on. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's
It would
crazy.
be
It's crazy
it would
marketing.
be
It
it
is
would be
genuine
incredible
market. Yeah.
if they get both DC and Marvel, because they could then have, I don't know, NetherRealms make a Marvel versus DC
Marvel vs.
fighting game.
DC, yeah.
That would be
I would
interesting.
actually play that. I would play that shit. I would play
I'll
that.
play that in. And with that being said, we come to the end of the show. This was a great conversation. Shout out to Ghost NHL Garage Gaming for coming through. He had to leave. Shout out to Akira for being there despite the fact that he had some stuff to do. Shout out to Fox Mamba. Shout out to everyone in chat. And with that being said, let's get into our outro. Where people can find you, Akira?
Yeah, you know, Twitter, the Red Eyed Dragoon. You know, I still want that Legend Dragoon remake. So I don't know, man. I want to hold on to hope. There's got to be some hope.
You know me.
That's gonna happen.
I know you. We need that.
Yeah. So yeah, Red Eyed Dragoon. Some underscore at the end. You know, that's my ad. And I talk about games now only. You know, it's been 2 weeks now. There's not single one console war post on my account, and I plan to keep that going. Although I still comment on others, right, who are funny at least. But nah, man. You know, talk about games. Talk about games. You know, you happy birthday to the people right now in the community, like. It's Strictly's birthday and Connor's birthday, I believe, and Yoshi P's birthday, but it's an important birthday as well. The man's 49 years old. And yeah, man, I'm hyped for Final Fantasy 16. Dude, you know what's 16, right? Before I pass the mic, I have been struggling to play some games because, you know, like my attention is divided between 16 being revealed anytime now because it's spring and what I'm playing. You know, I'm not fully focused on what I'm playing. I'm kind of struggling with that. I need this fucking second reveal to happen now. It's messing with my head. It's mental torture, bro.
Yeah. With that being said, Morgan, where people can find you?
Hey everybody, it's Morgan, aka Chill Bandit. You guys, you can find me on Twitter. Thanks for coming through, everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. As always, great to see you, great to talk to you. See you guys.
Great show,
always.
When is the next gaming night with Persona? Ladies' night with Persona? Because I'm still waiting on my royalty.
That's up to Persona. You know, he puts out the bat signal and we all kind of just come through.
Gotcha. Okay, where people can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kaylee1103. Otter Nation.
Weeb, where people
Otter
can
Nation.
find you?
You can find me on Twitter as the Weeb Sheriff, at Infinite Rhizome, and on YouTube at Rhizome. And yes,
you should watch Spy X Family, by the way.
As for me, people can find me at Caravan Sculpture on Twitter.
Yeah, Weeb, right? Spy X Family.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
You watch?
After I'm closing.
You watch it, Weeb?
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the episode, and apparently I also need to watch the One Piece episode because apparently it's legendary.
Oh, bro! No, it is.
So
it's one of the. It's one of the best in a long time, man. Like, when was the last time I remember such a amazing episode from One Piece?
I'm gonna watch it right now after the show is ending, and yeah, we'll see what.
Now you start with One Piece, man. I'm telling you, it's legendary. The episode legendary.
Also, I really need to have you on my show, Anime Squad. Like, what's happening with One Piece, we really need to dig in.
Yeah, the Joy Boy thing. Yeah, no, that's interesting. No, Gear Fit, sorry. Gear Fit.
Is it? With that being said, people can find me at Caravan Sculpture on Twitter and Gameplayer, and Vitamin G podcast every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and also Anime Squad every Friday, 5 p.m. with Weeb, Zero, and maybe Akira if this dude wants to come
Yes.
join in.